Uh, Habari ya Johnny, Caroline, Barikwa. Marion, you've learnt some Kiswahili, right?
I forget everything. I don't have any more space for languages in my brain. It stopped. After Creole, it stopped. Hello, everyone. Welcome, 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 Tekle. Welcome, Caroline.
Hi,
Welcome.
hi, hello.
Hello, Tekle.
Hi, how
Where?
are you doing?
Good, good. Where are you calling from?
I am from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. You're in the forest.
Yes, yes.
Welcome, welcome everyone. While we're waiting for everyone to join, we'll give everyone about 5 minutes to connect. You can, I don't think we are a lot. We are just eight for now, so it's up to you. You can either write in the chat or you can raise your hand to speak. And we wanted to know in one word um, to describe your experience with Module 3 so far. Was it insightful? Was it challenging? Was it actionable? Um, Please tell us, how do you feel with Module 4? Tom, how do you feel with Module 3 so far?
My one word is TARDIS. TARDIS.
Tortoise.
Does anybody know what that word is? It's from a TV show in the UK, so it might not be well known.
Mm, I don't know.
It's there's this telephone box which is blue and it's used in a science fiction program called Doctor Who. And from the outside, it looks small. It looks simple, easy, but when you open the door and you get inside, it's endlessly big. And that's how I feel with this course is the TAF is like a TARDIS. It seems simple, but when you go in, you realize, wow, there's so much to understand. There's so many things to learn and so many challenges and issues to work on, which is good. It's good to know what to work on, but it feels to begin with a bit overwhelming. But with time, I am getting to know the TARDIS. I am getting to know the TAF. How about you, Marion?
That is actually a great word. That is actually a great word to summarize the amount. I'd have to think about my word. Hello everyone who is just joining. Hello Akulu, hello James, hello Paul, hello Gerald, welcome. Hello Filippo Santos, welcome. If you're just joining, we are trying to describe with one word what we are learning with Module 3. What is your experience with Module 3? You can either raise your hand or you can write directly in the chat. And I will think about my word. Hmm. My word, I think, would be research, because I feel that the entire process with the TAF is about researching the information. Um, and yeah, that's how I feel about this module. Is there anyone else who wants to share what's their word? We have Tekle who's saying it's an amazing topic overall, and I'm still learning. Even us, Tom and myself, we are still learning along the way. It's a big tool.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Tekle.
Yeah, I'm on site by the way, supervising water supply construction, and I'm joining you from field. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you from field. Where is
Yeah,
it?
I'm from field in Ethiopia.
Okay.
The tool is very amazing. Recently, I already proposed solar power water supply for the location here I'm currently working. But my thinking was like to do it as a default because we have constructed the solar power powered water supply in many places, working with IOM, UN organization. But when I come to learn the tool, tough technology applicability framework, then I started, to question my past experience, and I'll take it very serious in the coming projects. I have to go through the tool, decision support tool, that is tough, and it was very amazing for me. And even I was sharing for my team working with me, so that we have to adopt this tool so that things will be, sustainable in the future. Thank you, Ndover.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience. Um, Great. We have James who's saying what stands out for me is applicability and social economic structure in the sustainability of SPWS. Thank you, James, for sharing this. So we are about 5 minutes in the meeting, so I will start with the content, but if you still want to share what has been your experience with Module 3, please do in the chat. Tom will monitor the chat. Okay, so again, these are brief reminders on the weekly webinar. The length is about 1 to 1 hour and a half, depending on how many questions we have and how much we have participation. Speaking about participation, it's obviously not mandatory, but it's really recommended because at Global Water Center, we don't only provide you with a lot of content for this course, but you all are professionals in the water sector. You all have been working with SPWS, apparently, from what I've read in the discussion forums. So you all have experience to share, and these sessions are here for that, to share experience, to exchange with your teammates. So please do participate as much as you can. Sessions are recorded and they are shared in the course afterwards. So if you're joining late or if you can't attend the session, don't worry, it will be available. If your internet connection allows, if you are speaking, we recommend that you turn your camera on. This allows for better connection with your other teammates. If you're not speaking, please turn off your mic to not disturb everyone. And use the raise hand icon if you want to contribute. You can ask questions in the chat. You will participate in the discussion in the polls. And then I said that already. So this week we are starting week 4. Well, we are starting because it's Wednesday, so we are about half of week 4. And we are starting module 3, which is about what can we do about the graphical profile that we did. After this week, there will be only 1 week left. So next week, will be the last week of the course. So if you're still in module 2, please move forward and finalize module 2 this week, so you'll have time next week to to finalize the course. Just a quick reminder of the course learning objectives. It was to evaluate the relevance and applicability of a SPWS system. This was about module 1. It was about the pre-selection. It was also to analyze the opportunities and risk associated with SPWS in a rural context, where water services are unsustainable and inequitable. This was for module 2. In module 2, you analyzed all the context, all the sustainability dimensions from different point of views to analyze the different opportunities and risks. Module 3 is more about recommend improvement to programs using SPWS. So this week is about analyzing the graphical profile to make improvements in the sustainability of SPWS. And next week, you will see how to promote SPWS as a mean to enhance the sustainability and equity of water supply systems. Yes, so that is about what we have for this course. Yeah, again, a reminder that this week is about recommending improvements to programs using SPWS. This is a picture from Tom, because Tom went to see, I think it was a international competition of
Well, the European Championships for Athletics is on in my hometown this week. So maybe not so well known outside of the UK, outside of Europe. But we've got, if you zoom in, you've got people running around the track. That's right.
yeah, how about here? Not sure I can zoom, but
Okay. Well, it signifies where we are on the course, this course. So if this course is the finish line, can you see the finish line? It's if you go around to the right, no, not there, further around. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yes, there you go. That's the finish line.
here.
So how do we feel? Do we feel like we are on this final bend, approaching the home straight, maybe? But we might be I think we're about there. The home straight's not far away, is it? It's not far away.
Hmm.
Maybe some people, when they get to the home straight, you just want to keep going, do another lap.
I shared a poll, so we want to see how you're feeling with the course now that I shared the program. Do you feel that you'd better hurry up because you're kind of behind on the program? Do you feel like right on track? Or do you feel that you're already finished or close to finish and you're quite early with the course? So I will leave you a few minutes to answer the poll. It's appearing directly into your screen.
But Marion, is next week really the last week of the course?
Should be.
Oh, that's sad.
It is sad. It is sad.
But
But we have plenty of other courses that you
oh, we
can
do.
follow.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can watch back the recordings.
Yes, you can
So
definitely watch back the recordings, and the course will still be available. The content and the messages in the discussion forums, you will still be able to access these. You will just not be able to post new discussions or answer or comment anything else. But yeah, you will still have access to everything. Okay. So most of you, I'm just going to share the results. So we have 24% of the participants who feel like they are falling behind. No problem. You still have 2 weeks, well, 10 days to finalize the course. So you'll have the weekend. If you want to work hard on this weekend, please do to finalize the course next week. We have about 50% that are on track. So great for you. Please continue on that line. And we have another 24% that are already at full speed. I've seen in the WhatsApp groups that some of you are already finished. You already received your certificates. Congratulations for you. If you are already finished, please keep posted for any answers that your teammates will have on the discussion forum or that we as facilitator would have for you to sometimes we ask for you to deepen a little bit your answer. Please be aware of this until the end of the course. Okay. So let's dive into the review of the module 3, which
Excuse me.
was, yes?
Yes, I have a question. When
Yeah.
I'm doing my courses, I'm not getting the green bubble to the left after completing the module. I'm only getting it for quizzes, but for the actual course content, there is no green bubble to the left. Is there something I should know?
So actually, some of you raised the issue, I think it was the end of last week, that module 3 and module 4 were not taking off when you finished it. So we just took off the requirements for you to finish. So you still have obviously to review the course content, but it's up to you. And it shouldn't give you any green light or red light or anything. So no worries, it should still give you your certificate. There are just no more requirements.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, so yeah, let's dive deep into that. So as a reminder, module 1 was about the screening process, which basically was the question, what is the problem? So we were asking each other, what is the problem that we are trying to solve with the SPWS? In module 2, it was quite long because there was a step that was the evaluation, which was quite long because it was a lot about research, a lot about finding the right information, and to have at the end a nice presentation of the evaluation results, which was the graphical profile that you should have discussed in the discussion forums. So the question that we were answering was what is working, what is not working. And in module 3, we are entering step 4 of the TAF process. Well, sorry. So yes, it was basically what can we do now that we have presented the results? So this is the graphical profile that you should have for Madagali. So this is the graphical profile that we discussed at the end of module 2. So now we are entering the process of interpreting this graphical profile. So what can we do about the notes that we gave? So you should have given notes for each sustainability dimension and each perspective. You should have given notes that are positive, green, or plus. You should have given also notes with orange or yellow, which were neutral, red, which were negative, minus, or question mark, which means that you need more. You need more information. So basically, what are we going to do in this module and in this step of the TAF is to do a triage. So basically, it's just like if you do emergency, if you do wash emergencies, you know that when you receive or wash emergencies or emergencies in general, when we receive people in emergency, we know if we want to go, if they will go to the emergency, if they have a very big problem, if they will go to the emergency room, or if they will go to do more exams, because sometimes people come and they have an issue, but we need more exams to understand what they have. So yeah, basically this step is about sorting out which is the emergency, what can we do, and what information do we need to understand more what is the issue. So again, in this step, I think I will use the other one. We'll take a little bit of time to discuss these graphical profiles. So this is the graphical profile for Madagali. So we should start with the green because they should be the easiest. We should start with the green sign, the plus. Which ones do you want to look at first? Like when you see the green signs in your context, which one do you look at first? Is there anyone who want to tell me which number they will look at first for the green? Maybe Tom? Do you want to tell me which dimension you look at first? Which green dimension?
Sure. Well, remind me the social dimension for the user, top left. What does
Yeah.
that mean? Can someone remind us? What does that mean? It
Okay.
sounds important. Yes, Gerald.
Probably it could be the strong acceptance from the user and the buyer that they feel like have the capacity to pay and the willingness to pay, and they have uh, they feel the user feel that this is comfortable for them to use this type of technology.
Great. I think
Yeah.
you mentioned several things there, Gerald, and Marion, I'll let you unpack those. I heard willingness to pay, ability to pay, and kind of satisfaction with the technology. Marion, would all of those go under social, or do you think they go under other ones as well, other dimensions? Thank you, Gerald.
Yeah, thank you, Gerald. They're very interesting items in what you're saying. So a quick reminder, if you want to look at what the sign means, so what the plus sign means here, we can dive into the details into the TAF itself. So let me
The
share.
big Excel file, Marion, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the big Excel
Hands
file.
up, hands up if you like the big Excel file. Oh, we do. Marion does.
Yeah. So when you're in the TAF Excel file, um, you see you have several tabs at the bottom. But if you go on the summary profile, you have this plus. So if we want to look at this one first, it says that it's the result that is in the tab called social and the cell number D17. So if I go to the tab social and I go to D17, it's this one. So basically, this plus is the answer to the question, is there a strong demand from target users for the service providers, for the service provided by SPWS and a willingness to pay for CapEx, OpEx, and CapManex.
What is CapManex? Is that
CapManex.
hmm,
CapManex, we generally define it by major rehabilitation item.
so
So
replacing the pump, maybe
yeah, so basically, CapEx is capital expenditure. So it's
buying the
the
pump?
investment that is needed at the beginning to install the pump, the solar panels, everything that is required. Then the OpEx is the operational expenditure. So this is the general operations. So it would be replacing a tap, it would be the cost of the operator cleaning the solar panels, um, et cetera, et cetera. And CapManex would be the big replacement. So, as you said, if there's a need for replacing the pump, if there's a need to replace several solar panels, so big expenses related to operation. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, so basically, yes, it's exactly what you said, Gerald, is about the demand from target users and as well the willingness to pay for CapEx, OpEx, and CapManex. Okay, so let me share
And
again. Yeah.
Marion and everyone, so do we think that you have to have this one as green? Because if people don't want it, if they don't want the service, it's not going to work. I wonder who agrees with that. Uh,
Yeah, if you agree, put a thumbs up in the chat. Yeah, we have Paul, Gerard. You don't agree, Tom.
no,
Yeah. Tell
I
us
don't.
why.
I think it depends.
Tell us why.
Um, okay, who has a mobile phone? Who has a mobile phone? Yeah. I remember being alive when mobile phones didn't really exist. And when they didn't exist, I didn't know I needed one or wanted one. But whoever sold me this phone did a really good job at promoting it. So I do think there's a question also about promotion. And I wonder what you think, Marion, if anyone else agrees. And I would think this is on the same level, right? Social is the same
Yeah.
promotion. I think it's
Yeah,
also important.
indeed, you got a very good point. Yesterday in the discussion
Oh,
session that we had for the French course, because we are also doing the French course facilitation. Um,
I'll check that.
yeah, we'll check that. Celicello. Um, So yes, in the French chorus discussion, some people stated that sometimes there's an issue in making the community understand that funds are needed for replacement of ports, and that in some cases there were some community mobilization, there were some marketing done to make community understand the need for that. So yes, indeed, they can be, this item can be in yellow, for instance, because people don't want to really pay for the service, but your program can still have the bandwidth to change this with education sessions and with other promotion activities.
Can I come in for a bit?
Yes, please do.
Like in my region, like for the first dimension social, we have a top-down approach. Like the facilitators, we had a policy in place first, and then the producers, providers, operators, they are supposed to promote the things like what is this SPWS all about and how it will be beneficial to the beneficiaries. And then the process of convincing, building awareness and sensitization was done to the users and buyers. So, and then the acceptance for this particular technology was initiated. So we have most of the time, like for if I go for all the dimensions, it is from the top-down approach. The policy, the regulation, regulate that it was all in place first for all the dimensions, and then it was shifted to the producers to promote and make people aware and also see what is the benefit they will also get out of it, and then it reaches to the beneficiary. So like for the acceptance of this technology, social, if I say for the users, if they will not accept it at once. Like if I go and just ask them whether you want to have this kind of technology or not. But since we already have a policy like how to provide the benefits, like I have already told in my in previous discussions also, like the subsidy, the exemptions, and also the community contribution. It's not like they are supposed to pay the entire OPEX or the CAPEX. They can contribute as per the capacity of the community at large. So like in our case, 10% contribution is mandatory so that they can have the ownership of having this kind of technology, and they can maintain it and sustain it for a longer period. So this is how like the approach we have in our region to make this to make sure that the technology sustain for a longer period, and the availability of the technology should also be ensured. Like if I say the ancillary unit should be there, because if there is a small OPEX is required, so those facilities should be there in the vicinity of the community so that they can approach and get the things done. So accordingly, this is the structure we have in our region to get all the technology, whatever technology we are going to provide. It should be accepted by the community, and it should sustain for a longer period with minimum cost of OPEX. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing this. What we will remember is that your program seems to use extensive promotion activities. So they use promoters to have general activities that go on education and hygiene promotion and technology promotion to make people accept the technology, to raise the need for the technology, and to also promote the need for payment of this technology, payment of service. So yeah, thank you for sharing this. Now I'm interested with the yellow or the zero score. So please tell me, which of these indicators are you the most interested in? Or which ones do you find the most difficult to improve? So you have yellow scores, there's quite a lot of them. Which ones are the most difficult to improve according to you?
So, Marion, you're asking us from the yellow ones,
Yes.
zeros, which are the most difficult to improve?
So we have Ebenezer, who's saying is the economic, so economic from the buyer user point of view. Okay. Is there anyone who wants to share which one is the most difficult to improve?
I know in the discussion forum for the groups that I'm involved with, economic from the user perspective was a very common issue,
Okay. Okay.
but also legal and institutional as well. But I think from
Yeah.
the regulator perspective,
Yeah, true. Okay. Well, yeah, I share your yeah, Kiba as well. She said economic and legal. Mesfin as well, economic and legal. Yeah, okay. Sounds like a very common issue. Um, I agree. Legal aspect is tricky because changing the law or changing how the law is enforced can be very difficult at project level. So when you're doing a project, you have very low bandwidth to make modification in the law or to make modification on how the law is enforced, and that is generally taking quite a lot of time. So yeah, I find this one the most difficult. And from the red ones, so there are four. Which one do you find the most difficult to improve? The items. So there's this one, and there are these two ones as well. Do you have an idea? Which one did you find the most difficult? We have Mesfin was saying environmental. Yes, indeed, it can be very difficult to modify the environmental dimension from a project perspective. Yeah, we have Gerald who said environmental, Filippo Santos who said knowledge. Okay, there are several different point of views. Okay, so from this, we can go to a blank profile. So this is the profile before we give any marks, any notes. And imagine it represents your own context. So from each of your countries, think about a past project that you've been working on. If you look at this blank profile, which indicator are you the most interested in for your context? And yeah, which one is the most interesting for you? And which indicator, if it was red, would be very critical for your project? So I don't know if there's someone who wants to share either in the chat or by raising your hand. Imagine it's your context from a past project. Which dimension would be the most interesting for you? We have Tekle who said economic and knowledge and skill. So it would be the economic and skills and knowledge according to you. Great. And we have Mbarikiwa who said the same. Eunice said economics and environmental. Okay. Okay, great. Great, great. Let's go into the details. So we spoke about social. We spoke about the social aspect already, so I will move forward maybe on that one. Okay. So let's imagine you have this. I think it's from Madagali. So in Madagali, you have this. You have a yellow knot for the social dimension from the point of view of the regulator facilitator. First, do you know what can it mean? And do you know how to improve it? Is there someone who wants to share? Tom, do you want to try out how to improve the regulator's perspective on the social dimension?
I was muted. Who is that using that telephone? And what do you think? What do you think is on that telephone? Who is that person? Is it a user? Is it a producer? Is it a regulator? That person there on the screen.
You can write in the chat, you can speak.
Is that an investor? Oh, the government person?
Yeah, could be the government person.
Yeah. The municipality person, the
Could
mayor,
be.
something like that.
So
Yeah.
we are under the regulator indicator, but when we were looking at data indicator, they're actually in the telephone. They're the one who have created this form and they're asking users to fill it in. So why are the regulators asking users to fill it in? Why are they doing a survey under the social dimension? How will doing a survey with users help the regulator be stronger in the social dimension?
Yeah, because together to collect their needs, their perspectives, how they understand the project that will be implemented.
That's
Yeah,
right. And
great.
I think someone mentioned a comment in the earlier about, I'm just going to post it in the chat. This comes from the Excel file under social from the regulator perspective. Technology choice is often top down with insufficient involvement of those who are affected by the choice of that technology. So if we have concerns that at the social dimension for a regulator, that it's not very strong, like you were saying, doing a survey, asking users what are their needs, what do they think about the technology, that can be really helpful. So that's something that can be done quite easily, probably, even informally, if we can't organize a survey through a phone. But the more information the regulator has about what people think, their attitudes towards the technology, then it means the regulator can make the service or the regulations, the guidelines meet those needs of those users. Is that fair to say, do you think, Marion, and others from your understanding?
Yeah, I think you summarized it
Mm.
pretty well. Yeah, the idea of developing this survey is to gather a better understanding on the perceptions and attitudes of the users, on and also on the way the promotional activities could be realized to make the technology accepted by the users.
Which makes me think again of the mobile phone. So knowing what's gonna change the world and everyone will want one, and the same for solar powered water schemes, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I hope so. um, okay, we discussed that already, so I will pass it. So, we didn't see a lot of question mark until now, so let's dive in. So, if you have a question mark under the point of view of the producer provider on the economical side, what could it mean for your project and how do you improve this note? We are in the economic point of view with the economic dimension from the point of view of the producer provider. What can it mean?
So nearly nearly half of us said in the chat that the economic dimension was difficult to influence. So it's a tricky one.
It's a tricky one. So it's an unknown. So let's take it from the other point of view. So what is needed from the producer's point of view
Hmm.
before they can commit to the operation of one water system. So I'm an operator, and the government is telling me, please operate this water system. What do I need to know from the economic side before I can take its operation?
Okay, I can go.
Yeah.
Maybe, probably, it must be the taxes and the defense. Because, for example, for the producer, if they have to import some spare parts and equipment, if the if if there is a strong participation uh, from the government to like reduce the taxes, it will be reflected to the cost of the service, right? Okay, maybe I'm out of the subject, but sorry, feel free
No,
to
I
rectify.
think you raised some good points, and I think the others also shared ideas that go in the same direction as you. Basically, the producer, the provider needs to know, would it be profitable? And then we have Rajesh, who said the provider may need more info to decide whether this will make profit or not. Investment of time and resources, tariffs. Yes, indeed. So when we have a question mark here, it means that the provider doesn't have enough information from the economic side. So they don't know if it will be profitable for them. And not only profitable, but they will want to know if they will lose money. So for that purpose, what can we do? So if there is so many unknown, what is the first step that you would do in your project to increase these?
I think that's the role of the investor, right? To clarify, to bring together all the profitable action to show that that business is profitable and the producer will get it quickly.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, what we need is an economical study. So sometimes the producer, so the investor, will do the economical study. But in general, when we construct a new water system, some governments ask us to do an economical study over 10, 20 years of operation. And that economical study will look at each component's life cycle. So, for instance, a pump, solar pump, in general, the life cycle, we say it's 8 years on average. So every 8 years, you would have to change the pump, and etc. for each component of your water system. So after that, you will have information on how much it will cost you to replace that. You average that over the years that you want to do your economical study, and that will give you the tariff that you should set for your water system for your system to be sustainable. So yes, again, this question mark means that you should perform an economical study on your water system before you move forward with the introduction of the technology.
Badio,
Yes.
sorry, I have a quick question.
Yes, please.
For instance, if the government provides some subsidy or there is a soft loan in that project, who is going to benefit? End user or the EPC, I mean the provider? And if it's a provider or EPC, how is it going just to benefit with a subsidy from the government? Thank you.
That's a good question. I think it depends how your project is set up. I've seen different setup in different countries. I know in Madagascar, for instance, they have what they call the investor operator model. So basically, the investor has, even though there's a subsidy from an NGO or the government, but the investor has to invest a certain amount of the total project costs to be able to operate the system later on. So in general, it's about 10 or 15% of the total cost they invest. So they don't benefit directly from the subsidy. So that is one way of looking at it. But in general, in most of the projects that I've seen, the operator just has a 5 years or 10 years, or in other cases up to 20 years operation contracts. So the hardware doesn't belong to the operator. The hardware generally belongs to either the government or the community itself. So the initial subsidy actually benefits to the end user because the water system belongs to them at the end in most of the cases. But I have never seen cases where the subsidy directly benefit to the producer. Let's move forward with another exercise. So this one, I think we could move forward. Sorry, Tom. I see the time. Okay, so Um, we have seen that from the user's point of view, we have a yellow indicator for the environmental dimension. Sorry, it's moving. So, why do you think we have this yellow mark? And what do you think we can do about it to improve?
I wonder what that image on the screen is,
Mm.
Marion. Hmm.
What do you think? Is there someone who can help us describing the image? What is happening?
Aha. Ebenezer can in the chat.
Oh, we have someone who said pumping tests. Indeed, Rajesh
Hmm.
said water table. Yes. So, groundwater monitoring. Indeed. So, in that case, there is a yellow mark on the environmental dimension. Um, so for the environmental dimension, you can look into the details of the TAF, but obviously, most of it come from the use of the groundwater. So in the cases is red or question mark, it means that either we'll overuse the the aquifer, the groundwater, or we don't know if we will overuse it. In the case of Madagali, I think it was, I need to go into the details of the TAF. Let me,
So it says here, I think with the users, there hadn't been a study, is that correct?
yeah. Yeah, so at the end, when you look at the, let me share
They
this time inside.
said they said in hindsight, we should have conducted a more thorough, this is uh row 7E. In hindsight, we should have conducted a more thorough analysis of the groundwater resources and performed pumping tests at each site before sizing the solar panels.
Okay. Yeah, indeed. So, yeah, you can look into the details of the TAF if you want. But basically, here we gave the yellow mark because there was not. Oh, you put in the chat. Yes, thank you. The analysis of the groundwater resources was not performed correctly, or some information was missing. Um, so basically, this means that you will need to do a comprehensive groundwater analysis study before you move forward with your project. Yes, Tom?
I've got a question. So Dorcas mentioned groundwater monitoring, and we've also got Celicero who mentioned a yield test. Now, they sound slightly different. So I think we've got some people talking about doing an assessment before anything is done.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a difference between monitoring and that upfront yield test, do we think?
Monitoring is a general word. And within the groundwater monitoring, you can have a yield test. So, yield test will only give you the water flow that you can pump from the groundwater. Groundwater monitoring means a study that's a bit larger. So you will not only study the borehole that will be used for your project, but you will also use the other boreholes that are in the region to monitor the activity of the groundwater level with all these boreholes pumping.
Like these pens.
Yeah.
So I could use this pen and it's really lots of ink, but I might be taking ink away from these other pens. So
It's
also
not
check.
really working out like this for pens, but
Sorry, my metaphors sometimes don't always land
yeah,
well.
groundwater is all related. So yes, that would be the difference. Yield test is just like for one specific borehole, but then groundwater monitoring will assess every other borehole in the region that might have an effect on your borehole. So yes, let's move to the next slide. So now we have a yellow indicator for the institutional dimension from the point of view of the producers, the providers. So we have given you a little bit of int with the picture.
All
What
right.
is this picture? You can write in the chat. You can just raise your hand. What is this picture? So Tom, what do you think is the
Well,
picture about?
So oh, Rajesh has jumped in on the chat. Oh,
Oh
Ebenezer
yeah,
as well.
information of the solar panel specs, technical specification. Yes, good. So about the solar panels, why would the provider give a neutral note from the institutional point of view?
Hmm.
And what could you do about
Is
it?
it something to do with technical specifications? That's what Celicero put in the chat.
Yeah, that has to do with technical specification. What do you think can go wrong with the technical specification of solar panels? We have Ms. Gana who said the provider have the capacity of handling operation and maintenance, but they're not legal and support from the government that should be reconcilable. We have Mulugeta who said standardization, a Bezener who said oversizing. Yes, you all are right. The issue would be that there could be in your country no norms or no regulation on the solar panels, but that could be also true for the solar powered water system in general. So there could be no norms existing, and that could be happening in your country because this technology is quite new. So, the norms and regulation and law, they take a little bit of time to adapt to the context. So there may not be any norms, regulation, or laws regarding the solid powered water system in your country, and a lack of standardization, as Mulugeta said. Yeah, we have Filippo Santos who said you're supposed to follow the instruction during installation to avoid electrical hazard. Yes, this is true. All of these at the end come down to lack of norms, regulations, or enforcement of the different norms and regulation that exist. So actually, in the case of Madagali, I think this meant that there are no regulation with the solid solar panels, sorry, that are in country, and that sometimes you can find bad quality solar panels that will break down quite fast or that will not actually correspond to the power that they state they should provide. Um, in a lot of countries in merchants, what we have seen is that we have solar panels that come from China sometimes, and that they just like put stickers on them. They put stickers of the good quality solar panels on the bad quality solar panels, and sometimes we end up with the wrong power. Yes, Tom?
Is there a way to check that the panels you have were made by that manufacturer?
Is there a way that someone can help us? Do you have a way to check that you have the right solar panel?
Maybe the right way to do that is to have a strong the the legal certification for the local providers to be as the representative from the international supplier, international producer.
Yes, indeed, that's a very good suggestion. In general, you can just contact the international supplier for its, as Mulugeta said, for its registered suppliers, and then buy directly from this registered suppliers. Often you will find in country very cheap versions of the official solar panels. Don't buy them. Make sure you have the right brand, the right power. Otherwise, you're maybe either it's not going to work or maybe it's going to break in 2 years, and the operator will have to replace them earlier than they're supposed to.
Ah,
Oh,
Moses.
yeah, that's a good one. Verify the serial number that is engraved on the solar panel. Yes, if they do have serial number, that is a great way to check. And we have Fairwan who said the right professional and system to verify transparency. I agree as well. It's very important. Okay, so still in the solar panel subject, what are they doing on this picture? These are operators or community members. What are they doing, Tom? Oh, we have Moses who said cleaning the
Ooh.
solar panels. We have Celicelo who said incorrectly cleaning the solar panels. Gerald who said whipping grids. Yeah, and then we have everyone who said the providers don't know cleaning should be conducted daily. Yes, in that case, obviously we are in the point of view of the provider, and uh, in the sustainability dimension of, I think it's badly written, it's skills and know-how. So that means that the producer don't know or didn't have the right training on how to take care of the system. We have Rajesh, who said preventative measures are not followed, lack of tech know-how. Indeed, this is a matter of training, training and follow-up as well, because training, one shot is not enough. Training and follow-up for cleaning the solar panels correctly. Great. In this, I think it's related to what we talked about, the regulator point of view and the environmental dimension. I think the picture maybe doesn't speak to itself, but earlier
It was the
we
best one I could find, Maria.
yeah, true. Earlier we spoke about the need for doing an hydrogeological study, groundwater monitoring study. But why would we put a red note on this item? So we are still speaking about the groundwater, but this time we're speaking from the point of view of the regulator. What could happen there? You're a regulator, so you're the Ministry of Environment. You're the Ministry of Environment, and you have several projects going on in a specific region. And maybe you don't have the capacity to follow everyone. And yes, Rajesh spoke right before me. So, over exploitation of groundwater. Indeed, that is exactly what it is. So, I'm the Ministry of Environment. I have several projects going on at the same time in the same region, but I don't have the capacity, the knowledge to follow every project. And I approved all of them, but they enter in competition for groundwater resources, and the groundwater table is decreasing and decreasing over time because they have several projects going on and all pumping too much underground water resources. So yes, that is it. What can you do about it for your project? So you've done your groundwater study, you've done your groundwater study, and now you have still risks of overexploitation of groundwater. What can you do? Let's say you're an NGO, and okay, so we have for one who said proper size pump capacity from Miss Ghana as well. Yeah, it's a great point, but for instance, the government doesn't know how to analyze the different project submissions for analyzing the groundwater capacity. They receive like a lot of project requests and they accept all of them, and they don't know how to analyze the groundwater. Yeah, we have Rajesh who said regulation to reduce the water extraction and LPCD should be defined. Pump test before installation and review groundwater level drill down before designing. Pumping test to ascertain the extent of depletion of groundwater. Indeed, we have the pumping test to do. We've already done that. And we have Rajesh who said regulations to reduce water extraction. and minimum or maximum, how do we call that? Maximum water flow to extract. So in some countries, you have regulation where you can't extract more than 80% of the maximum borehole flow. And that is a way to protect your groundwater resources. And if you're an NGO and there are no such regulation in your country, you can, with other NGO, for example, in the WASH cluster, you could like go together with a lot of NGOs and try to support the government in creating this regulation for groundwater. Okay, we have transmissivity check, remote monitoring method. That is a good suggestion. You have sensors that you could use to check your borehole water level. It is expensive, but in areas where you've identified that there's a risk for groundwater issues, then you can try to have these sensors. We have some, I think it was Fairwine, or I don't know who asked if we can use soap for cleaning the solar panels.
It was me, to clarify.
Oh, okay.
And Celiso replied,
Yeah, man, I
or
think
Sylvanas replied.
Sylvanus had the best answer. Clean water only is ideal with a soft towel. That is the best. Basically, you need to avoid to do any scratches. I guess soap could be fine, but we don't know what chemicals you can have in the different soaps that you buy. So unless you actually know the composition of your soap, we would recommend to avoid. Cleaning is
So
just for taking out the dust that is
what
over the solar panels. So
what if there's like bird droppings? Could you want to do you have to use a bit of soap then maybe? Because sometimes I find with my car windscreen, if I park
mhm.
near a tree, bird droppings in the morning. Um, maybe. Why so way four recommended that it be done early in the morning before it gets too hot, the cleaning of the panels.
Yes, true. I mean, avoiding any shock of temperature is always best because there's glass on top of the solar panel. So if you make like shocks of temperature, there's more risk that it cracks. So yes, or in the morning or in the afternoon, where there would be
Ah.
less temperature difference in between the water that you're using and the temperature of the solar panel is best. Also, when you're cleaning it, obviously you're not producing because there would be your towel or squeezer on top of it. So obviously, if you want to have more production, then you do it before the sun rises or after it's fallen. Okay, I have two more slides. I think this one was the same. Oh, it's
It's
just
the same image. I ran out of
it's
images,
the
Raphael. I'm sorry.
institutional
I'm
is
sorry.
this time is the institutional. Um, yeah, let's
A
um,
a third of us did find this area institutional challenging when we asked in the
true,
chat. A third of us said this was challenging.
true. So, um, first, why do you find it challenging? Why do you find that the institutional point of view from the regulator's perspective is challenging? What is challenging for you? Is there someone who wants to share? What is challenging in the institutional point of view? What do you find challenging? Tom, you said we.
Okay. So I remember working in the DR Congo when we first started using solar pumping systems, and we found it really difficult to find guidance from the government or guidance that was specific to where we were working, to find standards. It was very difficult to find standards that were relevant to our context.
Hmm.
Does that fall under institutional, you think?
Yeah, I think that could definitely be one reason why. So no standards, no norms, no guidance on a solid powered water systems. That could be one thing. Rajesh said OPEX and CapManex. Okay.
Maybe if there's not a common understanding of how much the OpEx and the cap manex costs, that people might go ahead with schemes and then not realize, cap manex means that every 5, 7 years we need to replace the pump. So maybe there's those people who are regulating or investing don't realize or appreciate the OpEx and cap manex and how much money is required. Maybe.
Yes, yes. Sometimes when there are standards or norms that can help with the calculation of OPEX and CapManex. Sometimes when you have standards, standards would tell you you need to account X amount of money for each year for OPEX and CapManex, and that is easier than doing your own economical study. I put what is in the top for Madagali. So basically, they gave the red or the negative score because the local NGO involved in this project stated that it had not received standard guidelines for training community management team in operation and maintenance. So there, maybe the NGO involved in the project received the standards for technical construction of SPWS, but they did not receive any standards or guideline for the training of communities or management teams for the operation and maintenance of the system. And it's also stated that it's unclear whether a national guideline exists for the design and installation of this technology. Experience shows that the authority responsible for ensuring the quality of work in this area has not successfully fulfilled its role. So basically, we're an NGO, and the role of the government to supervise the quality of the work that is implemented has not been done, or the capacity of the government is really low to do this. So it's a clear, not question mark, but it's a clear no-go for a project if nobody is able to supervise the quality of the work. Okay. So now, last one. From the regulator's perspective, we also had a red mark for the skills and know-how of the regulator. So it's a bit what we just talked about. So we just said that it's the second, I spammed it. So it's, I spoiled it, sorry. It's the second part of what I wrote. It's like it's unclear. No, its experience shows that the authorities responsible for ensuring the quality of work in this area has not successfully fulfilled its role. So basically, the government in this case was supposed to ensure the quality of the work done, is not able, don't know how, or don't have the capacity to supervise the quality of the work. So this is why we had this red mark. What could you do if you had this case? You're in a project and you're an NGO, and the government is supposed to supervise the quality of the work, but the government doesn't have the capacity to do so. What could you do? What is in your power? Oh, Tom said they all should do this course. That's a first step. So you, as an NGO, you should register government officials to this course. That's what you're saying. Okay, good. Is there any other suggestions on what could you do to make this indicator better? Is there any
So
suggestion? Yeah.
if we can't get people on training courses,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have the time or the money, what else can we do?
We have Mulugeta, who said systems strengthening intervention. This is really good. This is something that we start to speak about in the WASH sector, is to strengthen system. And as systems, we generally mean institutions. But institutions, they don't work only by themselves. They also have technical partners. So altogether, try to improve this system. So if the government doesn't have the capacity, can we try to force NGOs to have consulting company that does supervision of work, technical supervision of work? That is one solution. Government doesn't have the capacity, so we externalize it. And we force implementers to have an external validation of the work. That is one solution. That is great. Thank you. Okay, so we arrive at the end of our presentation. As I said at the beginning, next week is the last week of the course. We will go over module 4. Module 4, which is about the promotion of SPWS as a mean to provide water in rural areas. Basically, we will answer the question, and now what do we do? Now that we have answered all the questions and did all the program, what can we do? Yes, Tom?
Yes, so just a couple of small announcements. So, yes, so like we're saying, we're talking here at the end that institutions, different groups need to be more aware of what's required for SPWSs to be sustainable. So it's kind of, I guess next week we're looking at the how do we promote. If you go, can you go back to the course objectives actually? That's quite helpful.
Yeah,
I think it's slide, was it slide 6?
I'm here.
Okay,
No,
6.
here.
Or maybe it's changed. Yes. So promote. I think that's that last one. So last module 4 is about promoting. So with everything that we've learned, how can we promote using solar-powered water systems as a means to enhance sustainability and equity of water supply systems? Somebody earlier on, Marion, highlighted that in the platform we had incorrectly uploaded the recording of week 2 twice. Now, if you could open, I've changed it now, it's correct. If you could open the platform and just show scroll down the left-hand panel and we'll just clarify because module 2 actually covers 2 weeks. So in module 2, we have office hours recording week 2 and week 3. They are both now available. We had an issue where I think week 2 was duplicated. So if you scroll down, yep. So that's week
Week
2.
2.
And then underneath that, week 3, that's last
Yeah.
week. And so there will be this recording if you scroll down to module 3, week 4. So it's, yeah, just to highlight that nuance. We've got module 1, 2, 3, and 4, week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But next week is indeed week 5, the last week.
Yes.
I had one other burning question.
Yeah.
So, on the rare occasions that the sun is obscured by the moon, such as today, don't know if you're aware, but today the moon is going
Yeah.
to pass in front of the sun. Is that included in the design, that little loss of solar irradiation, or which indicator covers solar eclipses? Because I don't think we've mentioned that in the course yet.
I think it should be environmental.
Environmental. Okay, but
Yeah,
which
that's
which perspective?
should be the
Who's
perspective
regulating the eclipses?
of the provider.
The provider. The
Because the
provider of the sun?
provider will not have enough sunshine
True.
to pump enough water into
Yeah.
it.
So just
But
something
that
to
only
leave in.
happens every 80 years.
Once in a
So,
decade, according to Farewell. So not
okay.
once in a decade. So
Well, a full one, a full
yes.
eclipse is once every 80 years. So,
Oh wow. Anyway, just a little joke. Oh, we're not. Miss
okay.
Garner saying just forget about it. Look, it's like gonna last for an hour. It's not a big
Yeah.
deal. I
Yeah,
agree. I
true,
agree.
true, true, true.
Um,
I agree with that. Okay.
there were some questions in the WhatsApp group. Did you see, Marion, about getting the certificate? So maybe just to clarify, if people want to stay on to hear about that. I think because you
Okay.
said at the start that no longer the course, was it the course completion no longer includes the module, the unit content, but for the
Yeah.
discussion forum, we do need to respond. Is that right? Respond to.
Yeah. So basically, everything that you need to do.
Mhm.
So when you are in the course, you would see that everything that you need to validate has a little circle that is white. And when you validated it, that little circle becomes green. So now you see that you don't need to perform module 2 content. Well, you don't need to, but you will have to because obviously to pass on the quiz, you will need to do the content, to review the content, but it's not mandatory anymore. But in each module, you would have to do the discussion, the quiz, and in module 4, you would have to do the final exam. And you will have to do the feedback surveys as well to obtain your certificate. One thing to know is that if you're not happy with the name that you have on the course, please change it before you ask for your certificate. So basically, you need to do to click on your face on the top right hand and click on profile, and then on profile you can edit, and when you edit you can change your first name, last name. Okay, and once you do that, your name on your certificate will change. So now you can go, if you finished everything, and to ensure that you can go in the course checklist, So once you go in the course checklist, you can see if there are some items that you will need to do before you get your certificates. So all these things are required to get your certificates. And if you have all of this in check, then you can go to accessing certificate and it explains how to get your certificate. But basically you click on your profile and then you click on my certificates and you will have all your certificates here, and you can download them and you can access them forever in this platform. Okay. Was there any more questions in the WhatsApp group? Checking.
Just someone was saying that it was showing the course is only lasting for 3 more days, but that shouldn't be the case. It does run through until the 23rd of August.
Yes, yes, definitely. That is an issue. We also had Anderson. I don't know if Anderson is here. I don't see
They're not
them.
on the call right now, but they might be watching
Okay.
back.
Rowerton said that he got 94% and yet to receive your certificate. Rowerton, make sure that you have done the post-course surveys to be able to receive your certificate and that you have performed all the required items in the course. If you do, please know that it may take about 4 to 5 hours to get your certificate because each certificate, I think, needs validation. So in general, like it does take 4 to 5 hours. So if tomorrow, same time, you haven't received it, please contact us.
And the best way to contact us, Marion, is it through the platform? But what about when the course finishes? Do the Global Water Centre, do we have a follow-up contact people can use?
Yes, so I think they do have that on the course, but basically the email address that you can always contact is learning@globalwatercenter.org. And I think this email address is available
And
somewhere
that's
in the
center
course.
spelt the American way, CENTER.
Yeah, so you send it on the chat. So this is after the course, but meanwhile, it's always best to contact us through the platform by clicking on the messages icon here and typing our names.
Great. Okay. Will the WhatsApp group remain alive? Oh, I don't know.
I don't think so. Last week, I think we left it a bit more, a bit longer than the course, and then we warned participants that the WhatsApp group would close, and that if you wanted to remain in contact with others, I know that some exchanged their numbers afterwards, but yeah, it will close maybe a month after the course close. And Sylvanus, I will answer you on the platform. I didn't check my messages today yet. I will check your message and answer you. It might be you, this message that that is showing on the top of my screen. Okay. Is there any other questions before we
The next week, last week, live session, 23rd of August, course ends.
yeah.
Great. Well, thank you. Well done, everybody. I appreciate we've all put in an extra effort today, and we look forward to going through the discussions. We imagine that image of the track, the running track. We're coming around the final bend. We'll be on the home straight soon, and then we can all celebrate and maybe have a rest. So is 23rd the final time people can complete the course to get a certificate, or does it go beyond that? Do you know, Mariel?
After the course finished, you can still access the course content, but you will not be able to get your certificates.
Right. Yep. So you can still get the knowledge and the
Yes.
learning,
Yes, you
which
can
I
still.
think is more important.
Yeah, it is. It is.
No, I appreciate some maybe institutions or organizations will want to see the certificate. So do your best to complete before the 23rd of August, and any issues, please use that learning at Global Water Center, spelled CENTER, the American way, if you have any issues. Yep, see you next week.
See you all next week. Don't hesitate if you have any questions to ask us in the platform directly.
Yep, please do.
Caroline is asking, do self courses have time limit for completion? No, they don't.
I see the self-directed courses. Yes, they can be done.
Any course on the O&M of SPWS, I think that's on its way, but it's not developed yet.
Ooh, is it on its way?
I think it
Interesting.
is.
Oh, wow.
There's
Self-paced or like this,
no, I
live?
think like this one.
Oh.
But you can, Rajesh, you can go on our platform. There is a manual.
Ah.
There is a full operational manual for O&M for SPWS. So please go on our website, and I think in the section called documents or resources, and you will find it. It's a great start.
Perfect.
Thank you all.
Great. Well done, everyone.
Have a great day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.